Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 691st Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. And what a cracking game I've got for you today, a really close battle that I think could keep you guessing right down to the end of the battle. And it's a really exciting one as well, all the way through. Okay, our first teammate is Brotherhood member Lando. Now Lando has got 12 infantry, 2 archers and 6 cavalry. 12 infantry, 2 archers, 6 cavalry. He usually brings serious cavalry. Let's have a look at his cavalry. Oh yes, got 8 upgrades on, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. So that is I think that's a pretty good balanced Roman army there, and I think that's a tried and tested Lando Roman army as well. Okay, our next teammate is Brotherhood member First Prime. Now First Prime has got the bog standard 31k Roman army, the old bog standard 31k Roman army of 14 infantry and 6 cavalry. Okay, remember the new bog standard Roman 31k Roman army is 6 archers, 8 infantry and 6 max cav. If you notice here, the only thing different from the bog standard 31k Roman army is that First Prime's got an eagle unit, so he's got his general unit and eagle unit there for extra morale, but that will be a tried and tested First Prime army. Be interesting to see how well he does. Our next teammate is Brotherhood member Barclayman. Now Barclayman has got 15 Sacred Band Spearmen and 5 Sacred Band Cavalry. If you have a look at the upgrades on his Spearmen here, he usually mixes his upgrades. There you go, you'll find that some of his units have got 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack on. Okay, as you can see there, and other of his units have just got gold shield, gold attack on. So he certainly does mix the upgrades on his Spearmen. But remember, Carthage is Barclayman's faction of choice. Quick look at the upgrades on his cavalry, and he's just got gold shield, gold attack on his cavalry. So as I say, Carthage here is his faction of choice, and if you look at his general, you'll see that his general unit is fully upgraded. 3 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. There's his general. So that's fully upgraded, his general unit is there. And as I say, that is Barclayman's faction of choice, and that is a tried and tested Barclayman Carthage army that he's used a lot in the past. And as I say, it's a battle hardened, tried and tested army of his. And our last teammate is myself, Spartan Commander. He's got his very old Roman army of 13 infantry and 6 cavalry. Okay, so there's our team. As I say, it's going to be an incredibly close battle and an exciting battle right from the beginning, and I really hope you enjoy it. And here is the other team. We have Brotherhood member Spearman here. Now Spearman has got 13 infantry and 5 cavalry. Quick look at the upgrades on his infantry of his battle formation here. You'll see that his first unit of his battle formation has only got 2 upgrades on. Can you see? Just 2. So I'm guessing that's silver defense. Okay, so that unit's right at the front of his battle formation. And then if we look at the units behind him, you'll see that he's upgraded them a bit better to gold shield, gold attack. Okay, so his forward piler shield units there will be there to take the pilers and make first contact with the enemy and hopefully weaken the enemy so that he can bring his more elite infantry into the battle. And there you'll see the rest of his infantry have got 7 upgrades on, an experience stripe, gold shield, gold attack. Okay, so you can see there that he's got mixed upgrades in his infantry there. As I say, those forward units, those forward piler shield units are there to take the pilers, make first contact with the enemy, weaken the enemy, and then he brings his elite infantry forward. Okay, now this is an old cavalry battle formation you don't see very often these days. You used to see this quite a lot. People used to do this for a bit of fun, right? If you look, really dense cavalry there, you can see how he's really compacted his cavalry there. You don't see that formation much now, but believe me, that is old school, old fashioned. So it's nice to see a bit of that brought to the modern day battlefield. And as I say, that's Spearman's tried and tested Roman army. Okay, their next teammate is Brotherhood member Steve Longshanks. Now Steve has got an interesting army build. He's got 12 infantry and 5 cavalry, but he's got a couple of units that you don't usually see on a 31k battlefield there. And there you are, there they are, the Principes. Okay, you don't see these units on the modern day battlefield that much. They cost 490 denarii to buy, and for that, if you don't put any upgrades on, you just get 16 defense. But they're pretty good there for soaking up expensive enemy pilers. And just to show you here that these Principes, Steve has put no upgrades on. Can you see he's got no upgrades on his Principes at all? Okay, so he bought them for 490 denarii. He hasn't upgraded them at all, so that's what he's actually got, the basic unit there. Okay, as I say, they've got a 16 defense, so they'll soak up enemy pilots, but it's whether they'll hold their ground or not against an urban cohort attack. It'll be interesting to see. And if you notice, there's the backbone of Steve's pilot shield units there are these two urban cohorts he's got right behind the Principes there. So I think that's an interesting pilot shield formation there. And then if you have a look at his infantry there, you'll see that the rest of his infantry have got 7 upgrades on and experience stripe, gold shield, gold attack. So make no mistake there, that is a very good army there. His forward units got the smaller upgrades on because they're going to take the casualties, and then he can then bring his elite infantry into the fray. So that's pretty good battle formation there. And if you notice, he's got 8 upgrades on his cavalry, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. So make no mistake here, this is a tried and tested, battle-hardened Steve Longshank's army, and it'd be difficult to see how that's going to get beaten. Okay, their next teammate is Brotherhood member Pompey. Now Pompey has got the bog standard 31k Roman army of 14 infantry and 6 cavalry. Okay, remember this is the bog standard, the old bog standard 31k Roman army, and as I say, this is a tried and tested one, and the reason it is the bog standard 31k Roman army is because it's so effective and so efficient, and that's why Pompey's got it. Now remember, the new bog standard 31k Roman army of 6 archers, 6 max cavalry and 8 infantry doesn't seem to be used that much now, and there you can see his infantry has got 7 upgrades on and experience stripe, gold shield, gold attack. So I think that's a pretty good old school bog standard 31k Roman army. And their last teammate is Brotherhood member Crypto. Now Crypto has got 12 spearmen and 8 Cretan archers. Okay, so he's got a lot of firepower there with his Cretan archers, and he can use that very, very effectively right from the beginning of the battle. You'll notice that he's got 1 armoured hoplite as kind of like a pilot shield unit in front of the rest of his Spartans. But make no mistake, this is a tried and tested Crypto Greek cities army there. As I say, with the firepower he's got, do you notice he's right on the front of his setup area there, because he's looking to target, I think he's looking to target Lando's army as Lando moves his infantry up to the centre. It wouldn't surprise me if he runs his archers forward now just to try and target Lando's army as he moves over to the centre. That's a usual tactic of Crypto there, whether he's got Rome or Greek cities. He runs his archers forward just to try and hopefully engage the enemy units in front of him as they're running to the middle to set up with their teammates. So it'll be interesting to see if that's what Crypto does right at the beginning of the battle. At this stage of the battle, I thought I'd talk about the enemy team a little bit here. These 4 are a really strong team. You know, like when you form up with people that's got the same gameplay as yourself, everything seems to work together well as a team. You kind of know what each other is going to do almost before they do it. You know, they're a really good, strong team and will be very difficult to beat. Make no mistake about that. And they've won loads and loads of games as a team. As I say, you know, veterans watching this, you know, if you start playing with players that complement your style of play, and you all kind of complement each other's style of play, you have an extremely strong team. And that's what these 4 guys are. A really powerful, strong team who's been winning a lot of battles together. So make no mistake, this will be a really close, tight battle, and a really interesting one for you to watch. Okay, as we thought, right from the beginning of the battle here, you'll see Crypto running his long-range elite Cretan archers forward there to try and target Lando's moving infantry. Okay, this is a usual tactic by Crypto. When he brings Rome, he's usually got 4 archers as well, which will try and target the enemy army in front of him. As you can see, he's doing the same with his Cretan archers. There you are, you can have blizzard of arrows coming onto the rear of Lando's running infantry. So it could have cost him a lot of infantry, that shower of arrows there by Crypto. But I think Lando did the right thing there. He's actually turned his infantry to face those Cretan archers now, rather than keep running away, showing the rear, the weakest part of his unit, to those powerful Cretan archers there. But as I say, that's a usual tactic by Crypto. If ever you face him, he usually runs his archers forward. Okay, so just give you a heads up on this. Barclayman's bought his Carthage army here solely, okay, to take on the Greek cities. Okay, so that's why he's bought his army here. It's a dedicated army, if you like, just to take on the Spartans there. Okay, so you'll notice that Barclayman will be trying to shadow Crypto as much as he can, because, as I say, that's his target for the team there. Carthage army against the Greek cities there. Okay, now my guess is that Crypto's Greek cities army there, he will try and keep away from Carthage as much as he can, and he would prefer obviously his Roman ally to be able to take on Carthage, where they can throw in lots of pilers. Now if you notice here, can you see how Pompey here with his Brutii army, okay, they're moving forward towards our Carthage ally. Now the reason he wants to do that, of course, is because he wants to throw hundreds of pilers into Barclayman's Carthage Sacred Band units to weaken them, so that he can then attack and probably take out a lot of those Carthage units, because they'll be so weakened from pilers. Okay, so that's what I think Pompey would like to do. Okay, and if he can hold and pin the Carthage Sacred Band, of course that leaves Crypto Spartans to attack our Roman allies like Lando, or he may well come across and attack First Prime's Roman army there. Okay, so that's, I think, what the team plan is for the enemy team. Hold and pin Carthage with Pompey's Brutii infantry, and that will then free up Crypto's Greek cities to attack any of our Roman armies there. Okay, I think that looks like possibly what the tactic is going to be there. Okay, and you can see there that Steve Longshank's running his army forward as well towards First Prime. But as I say, Barclayman here trying to move his army. What he'll try and do is keep out the range of enemy Roman pilers, but also he'll want to keep out the range of those Cretan archers as well. Okay, make no mistake there, Crypto would love to get in range of those Carthage Sacred Band with his archers, do a lot of damage. Right, here's something I wanted to show you here. Can you see poor old First Prime is trying to move his army? Okay, and look at his forward units. They've got the expanding glitch. Can you see how they're just starting to expand there? This is unusual because the rest of his army are not glitching. Very often his whole army, or a whole army, will glitch, and you'll have troops going all over, spreading out all over the battlefield. It's so annoying when that happens here. And of course Steve can't do anything. His troops will just defend themselves here, and poor old First Prime with that expanding glitch, look, his troops just run into Steve's troops there. And as I say, Steve can't do anything, and because his troops are defending themselves, and so First Prime got a chance of losing a lot of troops here with this damned expanding glitch. It is so annoying when it happens to us, and it does happen to all of us from time to time there, and it is so annoying there. But he's very lucky that the rest of his units didn't glitch at the same time there. Okay, let's have a look at the casualties that he suffered there with his I think Piler Shield units. Pause the game for a second there. So one of his units, look, I think is reduced to 62 men there. So he's lost 20 men straight away before he's even got into combat there, and he's lost other men as well. But he's lucky he hasn't suffered too many casualties. Very often with the expanding glitch, loads of your troops run into the enemy troops, and you can lose loads of men. So he's quite lucky there he hasn't lost so many troops there. But that expanding glitch is a nuisance. Right, let's just pause the game for a second here. So over here you'll see Lando is facing Crypto. And make no mistake here, Crypto will be starting to target us here with his Cretan archers. Those 8 Cretan archers he's keeping in close, tight formation for more impact and more damage. He will be looking to try and weaken Barclayman's Carthage Sacred Band with those archers there. Okay, now I think this is a tactic done by Lando deliberately. Why would Lando put his Roman army right in front of the enemy Greek cities? Can you see why he would do that? Okay, because we know that those Spartans love to take Roman armies on head on. But if you notice the reason he's done that, he's trying to draw the Greek cities onto his Roman army, look, and then his Carthage ally can come through his army and attack the Spartans, which is what we want. We want our Carthage ally to attack the Spartans there. Okay, now if you notice here, because Barclayman's moved right over to the right here, shadowing Greek cities, there is a massive gap in the centre of our battle line. Look at the gap between Lando and First Prime, a massive gap there for the enemy to exploit. They could come straight through the centre there. Now Barclayman spotted that, look, and put 5 of his Sacred Band spearmen there to try and hold the centre and plug that gap. But that is a massive gap there, a massive hole in our battle line there. And strategically, the enemy would like to have made the most of that. But as I say, Barclayman's put some of his units there to try and plug the gap. But as I say here, I think Lando's deliberately moved his Roman army in front of the Greek cities, hoping to attract an attack from the Greek cities there. And then he probably would have pulled back and allowed his Carthage Sacred Band ally there to come through his army and attack the Spartans. So to say, I think that was a nice planned move there by Lando, but you can see Crypto spotted that and he decided to move his Spartans out of the way there. Okay, I don't think Crypto wants to take on Barclayman's Sacred Band units at this time. Okay, now over here I wanted to show you this. Now can you see First Prime Scipio army running forward? Okay, now watch this. Okay, he's just running straight forward there. Now, do you think he's going to do like almost a suicide attack on the Brutii infantry there in front of him? Okay, let's pause the game for a second here. What I think's happened to poor old First Prime here is he has got the overrun glitch. He's had the expanding glitch and now he's got the overrun glitch. He probably wanted to stop his infantry a lot further back than that, but his infantry has overrun where he wanted them to stop, and now they're charging like a suicide charge straight in to the enemy Brutii infantry there. Okay, so he's had the expanding glitch, and now from what I can see, he's got the overrun glitch. Now you'll see that. Can you see how his units hit the forward units of the Brutii infantry, and then can you see how they automatically turn and run back? Do you see that, how they turn and run back? Because they're running back to where he originally wanted them to stop. But because they've overrun the stop point, look, they've now got to turn and run back to that stop point. But his forward units of First Prime have already engaged the Brutii infantry. So I don't know what First is going to do. If he tries and bring those units back, he's going to suffer a lot of casualties anyway. So he may well leave those units fighting there. Can you see the bulk of his infantry are trying to return back to the stop point that he wanted them to stop at? But because they had that overrun glitch, they just run straight in to that enemy Brutii infantry. And as I say, he's just going to leave his infantry fighting now. If he tries to bring them back, he'd lose a lot of them anyway. So I think his thinking there as well, I'll just leave them fight him. Okay, so you've seen him have the expanding glitch and the overrun glitch. Right, here comes Steve on the left flank here of his formation with that cavalry. And bang! As he smashes into the flank of First Prime's engaged infantry there. Now, you'll see First Prime moving his cavalry forward. You can see First Prime's got his finger on the trigger there to charge those cavalry in, but he stopped there. So we've got Lando's cavalry there. Okay, locked and loaded. We've got First Prime's cavalry locked and loaded. Okay, ready to charge straight in there if we need to. And I've got my cavalry at the back. And I'm going to charge in slightly behind these two to try and ram home the attack with my cavalry if we decide to attack in the centre here. Now make no mistake, the centre could be the make or break of the battle here. You can see we've got our cavalry locked and loaded, ready to charge in there if we need to. Okay, but poor old First Prime there, look. And you can see Pompey's got his cavalry locked and loaded ready, but First Prime's overrun glitch there has made him attack when he didn't really want to, but now he's going to keep the momentum up. Okay, so you can see there First Prime was going to charge his cavalry in and decided not to, and pulled his cavalry back. And you've noticed here I've moved my infantry closer to the centre there. I've moved my infantry over to First Prime there, try and give him a bit of support. And over on our right flank here, you'll see that Barclayman is running his units forward towards the enemy Greek cities. Now you'll notice Crypto is pulling his Spartans away from the Sacred Band spearmen. He doesn't want to fight the Sacred Band spearmen at this stage. Okay, but you can see here that a lot of our units have been damaged by arrows, and make no mistake, those Cretan archers will be targeting poor old Earth's Sacred Band units, weakening them, and when they're weakened enough, I'm guessing then that Crypto will charge with his Spartans into the weakened units. But at the moment it looks to me like the Spartans are moving over to the centre, and you could see Pompey do a switch here and move over to that flank there to take on Barclayman's Sacred Band infantry. That's what I think they're planning there. I think Pompey's going to move over to the flank to face the Sacred Band, while the Spartans move over to the centre here to try and stabilise the centre a little bit, strengthen the centre a little bit for the enemy team. Okay, So they've probably noticed that we've got a lot of cavalry locked and loaded there, ready to move in. You can see that. Now you can see here Lando charging his SBQR troops in. We know Lando's a very aggressive attacking player, and look at him charging his army in there. Okay, so I think here you can see, as I say, Lando charging in there. We've got First Prime's units already engaged with the enemy Brutii troops, so it wouldn't surprise me if our cavalry decides to go in there. But you can see the enemy Brutii cavalry up behind us as well. As I say, I'm going to charge my cavalry in just behind my allies' cavalry to ram home the attack. I've moved my infantry closer to the centre there to support First Prime. But over here, as I say, on our right flank, you'll see that Crypto now is bringing his Spartans over to strengthen the centre of the enemy team against our Roman armies, while Pompey is switching here to move over to the left flank to throw loads of pilers into Barclayman's Sacred Band units and attack them. All the time, the Cretan archers of Crypto here in their close tight formation will be shooting loads of arrows into Barclayman's spearmen as well, weakening them. So that's a good combination there with Crypto and Pompey there on our right flank. But here in the centre, this could be the make or break of the battle. You've got Steve Longshot's cavalry and Pompey's cavalry there ready to counter-attack if we do charge our cavalry in. But make no mistake, the centre, as I say, could be the make or break of the battle there. You can see there our cavalry locked and loaded. We've got our finger on the trigger there of our cavalry ready to charge in. As I say, look at Lando's SBQR troops really trying to penetrate. You can see that First Prime's attacking with his infantry. They're really pushing them in as well. Pause the game for a second here. So as I say, Crypto's bringing his spearmen over here to stabilise the centre. So we need to hit over on the other side of those Spartans. We need to hit here, so that we're not coming up against anti-cavalry spearmen there. Can you see what I mean? This is where we need to hit, I think, there, to avoid those Spartan spears. But look at the enemy cavalry. You can see the Julii generals brought his cavalry over as well. So there's going to be one heck of a massive cavalry hit, I think, here in the centre. But we need to avoid those Spartans' spears there. As I say, over on our right flank, Pompey will be throwing loads of pilers into Barclayman's Sacred Band units, and then he will probably attack. And all the time, don't forget here, the archers here, as we said earlier, will be shooting into Barclayman's units, weakening them as well. Okay? But as I say, the centre here looks like it's going to be a hot spot for the battle. As you can see, everything there is locked and loaded and ready to charge in. Okay, as I say, you can see Crypto Spartans taking over a part of the centre there. Right, here comes Lando's cavalry. Get ready for this, and bang, as he charges in. Look at the enemy counter-attack here of Julii and Brutii cavalry, and bang, as they smash in there as well. Now you'll see First Prime's cavalry and my cavalry going in as well. Get ready for this, and bang, as we smash in there. You can see my cavalry charging in as well, my Scipio cavalry, and bang, as they charge in there. Okay, but look at the units that are routing here. First Prime's Scipio units are the ones that are routing here. So the centre is not looking very good. The centre attack is not looking very good for our team. As you can see, the only units routing here are First Primes. So our centre looks like it's in danger of being broken there. Okay, you can see Lando's pulled his cavalry back, locked and loaded, ready to charge in again. As I say, the Spartans are holding part of the centre of the battlefield there, and we want to avoid them, obviously, with our cavalry. If you notice here, I'm moving my infantry over to the centre more to try and help First Prime holding the centre there, moving in from the left flank to the centre. As I say, trying to shore up that area there where First Prime units are breaking. But here you'll see that Barclayman is holding up, if you like, Pompey's Brutii infantry. But to make no mistake there, Barclayman's not going to hold that long, I don't think. And this is a nice touch here by Barclayman. He's noticed the enemy cavalry are away, look. So he's going to charge his Sacred Band cavalry into taking out these archers. Right, a question for you now. Now you can see Pompey's cavalry here, right, is 6 cavalry. What would you do with them? Would you now charge in there and maybe get a mass rout of the enemy team? Is that what you might do? You could see loads of First Prime's units routing there, and that cavalry smashing in there could cause maybe a mass rout of the other team. I don't know what you guys think. Do you think if he charges it in there that would help? But here he's got, he looks to me like he's going to charge over and stop the Sacred Band cavalry attacking his allies' archers. Can you see, as I say, Barclay man here attacking those archers there, and it looks like Pompey's going to take all 6 of his cavalry over there to try and stop those cavalry attacking his allies' archers. So if you were Pompey's in charge of Pompey's cavalry, would you charge them in there and maybe get a mass rout of enemy units? Is that a possibility? Or would you go after those Sacred Band cavalry units and stop them attacking your allies' archers? Which would you do if you were in charge of Pompey's cavalry? It'd be interesting to see what he does there, but I think from the look of the way his cavalry is positioned, he will be going after those Sacred Band cavalry and stopping them attacking his archer's allies there. His archer ally. So as I say there, you can see it could be a make or break in the centre here. As I say, you can see Lando's SBQ cavalry charging in there. And bang, as he charges in there, but you can see there's enemy Julii cavalry being brought into the centre as well. This is a real massive cavalry and infantry impact in the centre. As I say here, Pompey's now decided he's going to take his cavalry over to attack Barclay man's Sacred Band cavalry, and he's decided not to attack in the centre. Okay, so that's what he's decided to do. But his allies are holding well here anyway. You can see there, as I say, if you look at the units that are routing, it's all First Prime's units there that are routing at this time. You can see there we're really trying to push through the centre there. I pulled my cavalry back, locked and loaded, and charged it in again, trying to break through that enemy centre. But you can see there that Crypto's bringing his Spartans over there with their anti-cavalry spears there to try and stop the momentum of our cavalry trying to break through the enemy there. So we are really trying to push through the centre here, but as I say, with those Spartans brought over, that could be a real problem for us cavalry wise. Okay, let's just pause the game for a second here. So as I say, the only units that you can see routing now are First Prime's units, so that goes to show that our centre is gradually cracking there with his units breaking there under the Spartans and Brutii and Julii attack there. And if you look, our centre looks quite in a serious situation there, where the enemy may be breaking through our centre. As I say, I've moved my infantry over to the centre a little bit there to try and shore up the centre a bit with my infantry. And as I say, you can see the Spartans there. This is great news for Crypto Spartans. He loves to take enemy Roman troops on head on with his Spartans, and that's exactly what he's doing there. You can see that Barclay man's brought a couple of his spear units over to try and neutralise that. But over on our right flank here, you'll see that Pompey is gradually surrounding and taking out Barclay man's Sacred Band units there. And make no mistake, those Cretan archers will be weakening those Sacred Band units all the time. So our right flank, to me, looks like it's ready to be broken, and they will roll us up from right to left. I don't know what all of you think there, but here you can see the centre, to me, still looks possibly the most important part of the battlefield at this stage. And as I say, you can see a lot of enemy reinforcements moving in there to shore up their centre as well as they're pushing forward. Okay, and you can see that Julii cavalry locked and loaded, and you can see our cavalry here. We're all locked and loaded, ready to charge in. So as I say, the centre here could prove absolutely pivotal to the outcome of the battle, but also our right flank could prove pivotal as well. Okay, so I've got my infantry there trying to hold the left flank and the centre there against Julii and Brutii infantry. Right, let's pause the game for a second here. So over on our right flank, the last of Barclay man's spear units, Sacred Band units, have now been taken out. And after a tough fight, our right flank has now been broken. Okay, make no mistake about that. Our right flank has now been broken, and the enemy will now look to roll us up from right to left. Okay, just look at all that Brutii infantry ready to roll us up from right to left there. So the enemy have done well on our right flank. And if you notice now, Pompey has repositioned his cavalry. Now he's brought them at the back to help in the centre. But he needs good coordination with his Spartan ally to make sure, if he's going to charge his cavalry in, that his Spartan allies puts his spears up, obviously before Pompey's cavalry charges in. Because remember, friendly spears, friendly pikes, if they're down, will kill friendly cavalry if you try and charge a cavalry through them when they've got their pikes or spears down. So they need good coordination there before Pompey's cavalry can charge in. But as I say, it looks to me that they're going to be rolling us up from right to left pretty soon. So as I say, here in the centre, my infantry and Lando's infantry are still managing to hold, and Barclay man's got his spearmen in there trying to neutralise the enemy Greek city units. Now here is something which is really unfortunate for Lando. I'm going to show you here. Can you see Lando moving a good tactical move here, moving his cavalry out to the left flank, ready to charge into the flank of the enemy team? And what happens to him? He gets an expanding glitch. Oh my gosh, just look. That is so annoying when you get this expanding glitch. Luckily for him though, his expanding glitch is away from the enemy troops. So he's not going to lose any troops running into enemy troops. Can you see what I mean? And now hopefully they're all going to reform now. Okay, can you see the glitched cavalry? Hopefully are all going to reform without moving into enemy troops and getting killed. Okay, but over here on our right flank you'll see Pompey moving forward there, ready to charge into us. And as I say, roll us up from right to left there. And there's a Greek city unit over there as well. You'll see Lando's cavalry is now reformed. Right. Now just to give you a heads up on this, can you see I'm now doing a surge attack with my infantry? Time is the essence. We're going to get rolled up from right to left, so we've got to try and make a difference on this flank. So if you notice there, I'm charging my infantry forward in a surge attack. I'm hoping First Prime's cavalry is going to charge in. I'll ram home the cavalry attack with my cavalry, and you've got Lando coming in from an angle. Now what we might want to do, we might not want to go in straight away. We might not let my infantry really get integrated with the enemy troops before we charge in. But remember, you've got enemy Julii cavalry, okay, ready to counter our cavalry attack, plus you've got Pompey's cavalry ready to counter our cavalry attack as well. But we need to do something on this left flank because, as I say, time is the essence here. Make no mistake, they will be rolling us up from right to left, and time is on their side. So we need to move fast, and we need to move really aggressively here. As I say, look at Pompey here coming over with his Brutii units ready to, as I say, roll us up from right to left. So on the other flank, on the left flank and left centre here, you can see that we're really attacking. You can see my infantry surging forward here, but we're not going to charge our cavalry in yet. I want to pierce that Julii line in front of me. I want to go past those. I really want to get my infantry integrated with the enemy infantry, pin and hold as many as I can before we charge the cavalry in. Right, can you see there's some Brutii units retreating, some Brutii units cracking under the surge attack? Okay, you can see that Lando's bringing some of his SBQ or infantry over as well here to help with the surge attack on the enemy troops there. You can see several of the enemy units are starting to rout there. Okay, now you'll see that Spearman's done a good thing here. He's facing the enemy cavalry, but he's showing his flank to our Scipii cavalry there. Right, here goes Lando's cavalry. Get ready for this. And bang! As he charges in there. Right, here goes First Prime's cavalry. Get ready for this. And bang! And here comes my cavalry to ram home the attack on this left flank and this left centre. And bang! As my cavalry smashes in there as well. Oh my gosh, and you can see the Brutii cavalry of Pompey counter-attacking, and bang, as he charges in there as well. But we had to do something on this left flank as our right flank was being wound up there. Right, let's just pause the game for a second. So here you can see our massive cavalry attack has routed loads of enemy troops there. Okay, now a lot of these enemy troops will rally if we give them a chance. So I'm going to chase them down with my cavalry and stop them from rallying. How many people watching this battle have seen rallied enemy troops come back and turn the battle in the enemy's favour? So I'm now going to chase all those units down that could possibly rally there and take them out with my cavalry. But in the meantime, I'm going to turn my infantry to face the threat of the enemy team there. You can see that Pompey's Brutii cavalry is charged in there, but we've managed to rout a couple of units. Lando's locked and loaded, ready to charge in again. But as I say, speed is the essence there. We needed to be fast here because, as I say, look at the enemy troops winding us up here from right to left. Okay, they're really rolling us up from right to left here. And we had to move fast on the other flank. But you've got all of Pompey's infantry coming in behind us. As I say, those Cretan archers will be shooting into us for ages there. But luckily for us, Barclay Man's got 3 of his cavalry units, which I'm sure he's going to charge in to Crypto's archers there and take them out and stopping them shooting into us like they've done all game. So that'd be a bit of revenge for Barclay Man there, because I'm sure he's lost a lot of Sacred Band units from those Cretan archers. But as I say here, I'm going to chase down those routers with my cavalry, stop them rallying, keep them on the run them right off the battlefield, but at the same time, being battlefield aware, I'm going to turn my infantry to face the threat of the enemy troops coming in. So I'm helping both ways here with my infantry and my cavalry. As you can see there, turning my infantry in towards the enemy troops. As I say, you can see that Barclay Man's cavalry has killed all those Cretan archers, routed them anyway. So well done to Barclay Man with his cavalry. As I say here, I'm now turning my army towards the enemy Brutii infantry and those Spartan units. Okay, so that's what I'm doing, my infantry, as my cavalry is still chasing down the routers there. You can see my Scipii infantry there moving in on the enemy Brutii infantry. And you can see there you've got Lando's SBQ cavalry in behind the enemy. Good tactical move there by Lando. He's going to charge him in there. Look at him, bang, as he charges him in there. Nice hit there by Lando. Very aggressive player, as we know. And there you can see him charging there. You can see Pompey's Brutii cavalry charging into some SBQR units there. Like, bang, as he charges in there. Also a very aggressive player there, as we know Pompey is. So, as I say, and over here at the back, as I say, I've chased down most of the routers. Now, here's a good thing for us. You'll see that Steve Longshank's general has been routed, and also the Greek city general of Crypto's been routed as well. So we've routed both of their generals there, and I've chased down the routers now. I don't think any of those routers are going to come back, and I've decided now to turn my cavalry and bring it back to the main battle. Okay, chase down the routers now, just bring my cavalry back to the main battle now, is what I'm going to do. But as I say, chasing down routers is extremely important in a battle, to stop them rallying and coming back and attacking the rear of your troops and maybe even turning the battle. Okay, so you can see Pompey's Brutii troops here and Crypto's Greek city Spartans there up against our team. And as I say, you've got Lando's cavalry out to flank. Now, here is a mistake, I think. Can you see how Pompey has left his general extremely exposed to an enemy hit? Okay, there's his general there, look. Now, you know, our team cannot resist this as a target. Taking out the enemy general, taking the morale bonus away from the enemy troops is what we're going to do here. And I think probably Lando here can't believe his luck in seeing this Brutii general so exposed to a massive cavalry hit here. And Lando, make no mistake, is not going to pass on this hit. He's going to charge in there, coming in from different angles. Look, bang, bang, and bang. Routed the Brutii general. My guess is he's going to keep pressing against that Brutii general until he's actually killed him. Now that was just, you know, you couldn't resist that target. Newer players to Rome Total War, never leave your general exposed. Now he's dead now. So the enemy team now has lost their general morale bonus there through that unit being exposed to that massive hit of Lando's. Right, let's pause the game for a second here. So as I say, you can see my Scipii infantry coming up against the Brutii infantry of Pompey. You've got Pompey's infantry there coming in on my flank. So there you are, you can see we're facing those. And you can see we've got a few Carthage units there to face those Spartans there. But you can see they're extremely battle depleted. They're of Barclay Man's units there. But he's bringing them over anyway to try and counter the enemy Spartan units there. But they are extremely battle depleted. Okay. There's a general overview of the battle as it stands at the moment. There. So you can see, I think we've definitely got cavalry advantage here. But anyway, you can see... and First Prime charging his cavalry into that enemy Brutii cavalry there. You can see my cavalry coming in there to hit that Brutii infantry there. See my Scipii infantry. You can see the Spartans moving up here to help. But my cavalry is just smashing into that Brutii infantry. Bang! As I charge my infantry forward as well. So it's a cavalry and infantry hit there into the Brutii infantry. You'll see here Crypto bringing what's left of his Spartans up here to try and shore up that flank. Let's just pause the game for a second here. So, I just want to show you something here. Can you see that First Prime is keeping his general out the fray? Also, he spotted an enemy unit coming in behind us there. So he's turned his general unit to face that Spartan unit coming in behind us. But he's keeping his general unit out of the fray so that his general's safe and giving good morale bonus to our troops. You'll see I'm keeping my general out of the fray as well. Okay, you'll see that we're both keeping our generals out of the fray here, but we're keeping them close enough to the action to be giving morale bonus to our troops as well. I think I've got an eagle unit there as well, giving morale bonus. But here you can see, as we charge in there, Lando's cavalry charging in. You can see a lot of the enemy units are starting to rout now. And I think that looks like our team has managed to go on to win the battle there. You see my cavalry just finishing off, and some of Lando's infantry there just finishing off the enemy Brutii cavalry there. Let's just pause the game for a second there. So that's all we've got left now, as you can see. Very, very battle depleted there. I think Lando's got maybe 3 infantry units or maybe 4, but they have very few men in each one of those units there. There were 3 men in that unit. And how many men has he got? 17. That seems quite a lot, doesn't it? 17 there. And what's he got? 5 men left in his general unit there. So as I say there, you know, his infantry there very, very battle depleted there, and he's still got some of his cavalry left. So that's good news that he's still got his cavalry left. He used that extremely effectively all around the battlefield. And there's another infantry unit of his with 7 men in it. So as I say, you can see this was a real battle of attrition here. And as I say, newer players to Rome Total War, it's good to keep your general out of the fray if you can, and let them give morale bonus. There, our first prime's got 1 unit, infantry unit there, and he's got an eagle unit there, and he's got his general unit there. Notice he kept his eagle unit and general unit out of the fray, but made sure they were close enough to give morale bonus. And as I say here, Barclay Man here just got a couple of spear units left, very battle depleted, just showing you how much of a battle of attrition this is and how many casualties that we'd suffered there. Very small amounts of infantry left in our units there. And just like to show you the battlefield here, it's quite condensed really, because it was all the way along the battle line, right from the beginning of the battle there. It was, as you could see, all the way along this one battle line there for both teams. We were fighting toe to toe all the way along this battle line here. So a very, very unusual battle. There's not much going on apart from the main battle line here. As you can see, like, you can see by the piles of dead how much that was a real battle there all the way along the battle lines of both teams. Nothing much else happening elsewhere there, just along the battle there, the battle lines there. Over here on the right, I think this is where Barclay Man's Sacred Band units got taken out by Pompey's Brutii troops there. Okay, and when he started to try and roll us up from right to left after taking out Barclay Man's infantry there. But Barclay Man held really well on that right flank for as long as he did. Okay, so the first thing I'd like to say is really well played to everybody in the game there. I thought everybody played really well there. And as you could see, it was a close victory. Very close victory is what I would call it. Highest kills in the game goes to Brotherhood member Crypto, 1,491 kills. But also you'll notice that Pompey got the second highest kills. So it's unusual for 1 player to get the highest kills in the losing team, but for 2 players to get the first and second highest kills in the losing team is very, very unusual. So that's another reason I wanted to show you this battle there. So well done to Crypto, did really well with his Spartans there. As I say, highest kills in the game, played really well. And well done to Pompey, second highest kills in the game, he played extremely well there with his Brutii troops. Well done to Steve Longshanks, possibly didn't get the kills that he wanted to there, but I thought he played well, holding well in the centre. And well done to Spearman, definitely didn't get the kills that he wanted to there, but if you notice, he was smashed and crashed with that massive cavalry and infantry attack we did there. So really well played, guys. My army, not too bad kills, not great kills. I still had a lot of men left on the battlefield there. So quite pleased with that, but kills is, well, it's medium, it's okay, not too bad. Well done to First Prime, considering that he had the expanding glitch and the overrun glitch, I think he got some really good kills there. Highest kills in our team, So well done to First Prime. Well done to Barkley Man there. Killed a lot of enemy archers and held a long time on that right flank there. So well done to Barkley Man. And well done to Lando. Possibly didn't get the kills that he wanted to there, but he was very aggressive, very attacking, and his cavalry at the end, his well upgraded cavalry at the end, may have saved us there. So well done to him. Spartan Commander saying, hope you enjoyed this close battle. Please give us a thumbs up if you did. Look forward to seeing you soon, and bye for now.